Charles River Conservancy Parklands show. Tonight we will be talking about a vision for the parklands that is near the BU Bridge, which you probably heard about it in the news quite a bit. And it is the vision of Boston University and their new common on the Charles River. And I have with me two guests who have worked many years on that vision, and they will tell us about it. So I welcome Michael Donovan, who is the Associate Vice President, Senior Associate Vice President for Real Estate at BU, and then Ken Greenberg, who is the urban designer who worked on that project. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have this new vision for Boston University. As you know, Boston University is almost on the Charles if it wasn't for Storrow Drive.
That's correct.
You do have a beach and the students use it, and if you put the angle right, you can sometimes just eclipse Storrow Drive. Probably the noise is a bit harder to eclipse, but at least visually it gives you sometimes the illusion to be on the Charles. And I'm delighted that as part of this new vision that there will actually be beachfront as part of BU. So to put things in context, the area we're talking about on the map you see here is right next to the BU Bridge, between the BU Bridge and Mass Avenue or Harvard Bridge. And this whole stretch there is really part of BU, but this new common spot on the Charles is going to be right where this arrow points us to. Michael, maybe you want to tell us a little bit of how this master plan and how the vision for this new green space on the common, how that fits into BU's larger thinking.
Sure, I'd be delighted to. Thanks for inviting us on behalf of Boston University. It's a pleasure to be able to address the people of Cambridge regarding what our plan is for our campus. In brief, when Bob Brown joined us as president of Boston University in 2005, one of the first things that he wanted the university to look at was to look at a campus plan for the future. Different from an institutional master plan. The difference being the institutional master plan is something that we would file with the city of Boston. And as I think, as most Cambridge residents know, as you said in your opening remarks, we are along the Charles River. Boston University and the Charles River are one and the same. It's an intrinsic part of our campus.
I'm glad you think that way.
We do. we really do. It's very important to us. So one of the things that we did, the first thing that we did is that we wanted to look at our campus from stem to stern, from Kenmore Square out to Packards Corner, about a 1.5 mile long strip along Commonwealth Avenue. And as a part of our campus planning effort to look at how we might develop in the future in the next 5 to 35 years, we wanted to identify where the opportunities might be and where the challenges might be. And we hired Ken Greenberg, who's an internationally renowned urban planner and designer, to help us with that task.
And I think, Ken, you have also worked in Cambridge in East Cambridge on the North Point development. So a lot of people in Cambridge are familiar with your planning and will see the result of your planning in Cambridge.
So when Ken joined us in March of 2006, he identified 3 areas on the campus that really required special focus. One being Kenmore Square, and then the other one being our West Campus near Packards Corner. And then the subject for our conversation tonight with your viewers is the nexus at Commonwealth Avenue and BU Bridge, which some of us in the BU community have called as known as the knuckle.
The knuckle, and I think if we also have a picture of that knuckle, maybe we want to, with that,
we do.
Might be helpful.
With what your viewers are looking at right now is that knuckle. It's that center point between the BU Bridge and Commonwealth Avenue. And one of the things that we identified early on in the process is just how many people live in that area. If you're looking at the illustration on your screen now, within a 20-minute walking radius of the BU Bridge and Commonwealth Avenue, there are about 100,000 people.
And quite a few of them actually live in Cambridgeport. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Cambridge is next to Boston and Brookline. Cambridge obviously is our closest neighbor and also important to us.
So people from Cambridge could come over the BU Bridge and then also benefit from them of them green space.
That's right. That's correct. That's right. Correct.
So as part of this planning of looking at the different areas, you also looked at how the campus planning comes together with transportation planning. I think that's an important component.
It really is. I think many of the viewers are familiar with the fact that Commonwealth Avenue and BU Bridge, particularly BU Bridge, is a major thoroughfare for Cambridge residents who are going back and forth from Cambridge to Boston and Brookline. And we've looked at that and we've broken that down, and we definitely have some opinions on that. We've noted, I think, through the years that the area is a hard scrabble area. There's a lot of things going on at the Knuckle.
There's some new stripes and some new traffic islands.
There's good things. There's bike paths and things.
Yeah.
But there's trolleys, there's cars, there's buses, there's cyclists, and there's lots of pedestrians. And the confluence of all those things sometimes makes for very unintended and disastrous consequences. So what we wanted to do, at least on the transportation end, is that we wanted to find a way, at least to develop a plan where we could harmonize, if that's a way of doing that, if we can't find that, to try to harmonize all those roadways that hit that area and make it safer for pedestrians and for cyclists and for motorists as well. And that's a tall order, but we do have a plan.
And also, I think what is very much part of this transportation plan is to also include public transportation, which I think is really the way. That's right. We look into the future to have that increase.
That's right. The so-called urban ring is a major feature of our improvements in the area, and that's something that Ken will talk about in a minute. But we're trying to do a lot of things. We're trying to improve the transit capabilities, and we're trying to return something to the residents of Boston, Brookline, and Cambridge in the form of improvements to public realm, in the form of Commonwealth Landing, which again I'm setting up for my colleague Ken here. He'll talk about.
And actually we can look of how this area looks from the air right now. All the roads coming together, the Turnpike and Commonwealth Avenue. It's really a very challenging sight of seeing all those roads. And maybe you can just help us understand of what the buildings are that we're looking at that Cambridge residents might know from looking from the river, what we're looking at.
Well, the most obvious north-south axis that you're seeing there is the BU Bridge, which I think many Cambridge residents know is coming up for reconstruction through the Department of Conservation and Recreation. And I will put in a plug. Boston University is actually going to be hosting a public hearing in conjunction with DCR on October 16th, where Cambridge residents, Cambridgians and Brookline residents and Bostonians, anybody, is welcome to attend.
And in case you see this show after that date, your comments still will be welcome after that date, because there will be many steps to make that bridge a better step.
That's right.
So I think if you are concerned as a bicyclist or pedestrian about this bridge, do send your comments to the DCR or to the Conservancy, and our website is thecharles.org, and we will make sure that your comments get to the right places.